Hi, this is Tracy HD, and I want to thank you for joining me today for our weekly Oracle and Tarot card reading. And this reading will be for April 26th to May 2nd. You may use this as a pick a card reading 1, 2, or 3, or a blended reading with all 3 cards for the week. As I shuffle the deck, I'm asking all light beings, angels, and God, please relay the message I need to share with my viewers for the highest good of all. Okay, and let's get started with the reading. For those of you that have picked card number 1, we have relationship dynamics. And what a beautiful, beautiful lilac flower here. I happen to be growing 4 lilac bushes in my backyard in this color of dark purple as well as a dark pink color. And I just love the smell of lavender. Listen to me, lilacs. I also have lavender too in my yard, but the beautiful fragrant smell of lilacs is just breathtaking. It's absolutely amazing. And what this card is telling us is that there have been some changes in one or more of your relationships with maybe your family, friends, or romantic partner. There's a sense that you have less in common and are growing apart. And this may be because you're more sensitive and more conscious of your feelings when you're with certain people. I mean, we're all experiencing this because we're evolving. And we may have outgrown people in our life. And sometimes it's sad. But not everyone is meant to come along with us on this spiritual journey. And we may be at different times in our life where some of us are awakening, some of us are still sleeping, and it's, changing our relationship dynamics to say the least. And perhaps in the past, you numbed your emotional awareness and now your feelings are awake, and you start to see people for who and what they are. And I'll tell you, it's an eye-opening experience to maybe know some people all your life and then all of a sudden have this epiphany about them that, they're not the person that you thought they were, but they're actually always the person that they were. It's just that now that you're more sensitive and you're more awake, you're able to pick up on who is who. And you're no longer, fooled by the illusion that some people bring. A lot of people wear a mask. And some people say, oh, this person changed. No, actually the person didn't change. Their mask just fell off. And the most important relationship of all is with yourself. Okay, so you do need to take care of your feelings and needs in this situation. And for some of you, it will be, a love relationship. Some of you, it could be a friendship. Some of you could be a relationship with a family member. Okay, and relationships involve compromise, but ultimately, if you're denying yourself happiness, okay, this will have a negative impact on your relationship. So if this person is not bringing you fulfillment, you're not feeling happiness that maybe you once shared, maybe it's time to move on from them. Okay, you're being guided to be honest with yourself about your needs. If the relationship isn't meeting your needs, or say the relationship is not balanced of an even give and take where you're giving all the time and they're just taking, it just can't go on anymore. Okay, and some of you may even need to seek, maybe a counselor in a situation like this, whether it's a counselor with both people or just a counselor for yourself as to how to move on and get through, these changes that we're all going through. And as you make changes, all of your relationships will be effective. It's time for you to sort through your feelings about each of them and to bring a healthy balance into your life. So we need to look at our relationships and be truthful with ourselves, not make excuses, not enable bad behavior, not allow any more toxic nonsense to go on in our lives. Because when you have a toxic relationship with one person, that affects the other relationships in your life. Okay, toxic relationships can be very draining. And these are people that seldom change. And, you just can't enable people like this in your life if you want to have a happy and peaceful life. And then card number 2, or the middle of the week, we have grief work. And these beautiful pale pink flowers. And this whole deck is just absolutely, absolutely beautiful and perfect for the spring. I use this deck in the springtime every year. And this card signals that your heart needs some healing from one or more losses. So this may be the ending of a relationship here. And you're going to need to experience the grieving process. There's grief work to be done as a way of moving forward with your life. And like I said, this may be someone in your life that you've known all your life, a long-standing relationship that you need to let go of. If it's not a balanced, healthy relationship, if it's unhealthy, if it's toxic, you need to let it go. Believe me, I speak from experience, having dealt with very toxic people in the workplace, in my circle of friends, family members, people that I've dated, and I'll tell you, they don't change. Okay, if you're in a situation where you're dealing with a narcissist, and I happen to have a lot of background on experience with these types of people, they do not change. Okay, they do not feel that they're doing anything wrong when they hurt people or set out to destroy people. They're not going to seek help. They may go to a counseling session with someone thinking that they're, appeasing the person, but trust me, these are people that you need to go no contact with. So if you're allowing yourself and enabling this in your life, it's going to continue. Whatever you allow is going to continue. So you may be allowing someone here for the longest time to take advantage of you, and it's finally no more. And you may need to get the counseling that you need to move on with your life. Okay, and already you could think of how this specifically applies to you. Each and every one of you out there probably has someone in your life that's narcissistic. And I'll tell you, you need to educate yourself on these types of people. And once you know who and what they are and how they operate, you'll never be fooled by them again. My life has changed so much once I've eliminated all of these people from my life. You just cannot imagine how beautiful and peaceful life is without someone like that and their toxic energy dragging you down. So an unhealed grief is compounded by each loss that you have. So if you've already experienced loss in your life of some kind, and this loss, well, to me, I don't consider it a loss when you let someone go that isn't treating you in a respectful manner. That is not a loss, okay? You have everything to gain by walking away, but some people are able to do that easier than others. But what we have to do is, we have to mourn the loss of these people in our lives. It's not easy. If you need to cry, cry. Sometimes that's the only path to healing is when you let it out. But so many people just keep stuffing things down, making excuses for bad behavior. And then finally, it just comes to a breaking point where you say no more. And a lot of people will say to me, well, I've experienced so much with this person. I've put so much time and effort into them. I don't want to just let it go now. I've worked so hard. But guess what? If you don't cut this person off now, you're going to waste maybe 10 more years, 15 more years, maybe the rest of your life on a person that truly doesn't deserve your heart or your tears. So this is best to, maybe seek a grief counselor or support group or some type of a therapist that's going to get you through it. Some of us could heal on their own. Some of us need a helping hand, and there's nothing wrong with that. And loss is one of the more painful processes of change, yet it could also help us develop compassion and be more appreciative of life. I mean, I know through all the pain I've gone through, I've become so much more sensitive and compassionate to other people that are suffering, that it's putting me on my life path, let's put it that way. All of the experiences that I have gone through were all necessary to gain the wisdom and knowledge that I have to help other people. So you may need to work through the grief of allowing things to just end with certain people. And then the third card, or the end of the week, is join in. And this card has two beautiful butterflies. And this card here is telling you that you're being called to push past your shyness and meet new people. You know, a lot of us, when we're going through this grief and, excuse me, a lot of us, when we're going through these changes in our life, we want to just, go into hermit mode. And hermit mode is fine for a while, but you don't want to isolate yourself. You want to get back into life. You want to be able to participate with other people that maybe have similar situations that, maybe you could talk through, maybe groups that you can join. And, although you might not consider yourself very sociable at a time when you're, going through grief work or letting people go, just being around and getting acquainted with like-minded friends and other people, could really do you a world of good. But it just seems to be human nature that we want to just retract from the world when we're going through pain and grief. And that's fine to have your solitude, to sort things out. But we need to get back into life as soon as possible after going through these things, because the more we wallow in our own sadness, okay, and hold it in, the longer it's going to take for us to release it. We don't want to make a lifestyle out of that. So this card is telling you that, you need to, spend some time, going out and socializing. And this is perfect, for the weekend. We usually have more time for activities, during the busy week. We may not be able to, spare some time, but you're going to benefit from connecting with other people and, kind individuals like yourself if you put yourself out there. And you receive this card, in order to meet new friends and to join in, take part in life again. A lot of people have been in quarantine for the last year, and it's really taken its toll on people. So you may be able to go out more now than you've ever been before. So this is, telling you to literally join in person, not online or virtual. And online, you could form friendships and an outlet online too to be social. But this is more or less an in-person type of thing in your community. Maybe join a class or a group in person so that you could, network with other people. Joining in also entails introducing yourself, at these groups and having conversations with people. And you'd be surprised that a lot of us are going through the same situations at the same time. And when we join together and we band together, we could have positive changes in our life. And it's going to open new doors for you. So even though you're tempted to go into hermit mode this weekend, this is telling you to get out there. Put yourself out there. You'd be surprised at the help of other people that are going through the same challenges and experiences as you are is going to help you heal. And you're going to help each other heal. What a beautiful week. If you've enjoyed this reading, please like it by giving it a thumbs up, share it, and above all, subscribe, because I will be back with more.